Today's fifth episode picks up where we left off on the last episode at Chamberlain Park Golf Course. We'll be trying the following challenges: to go +9 or better, 2 up and downs, no lost ball, 2 potential water hazards on this back 9, and finally to get that birdie that evaded us on the last outing. Without further ado, let's step up to the tee. So we're going to kick things off with a par 4 dog leg to the left, taking the 5-iron in hand and hopefully get it down the middle. Well, we're down the middle of a fairway, just the first hole, not the 10th. So now I've got to make the awkward walk over to the other fairway, grab my pitching wedge, ran across to my ball in order to not slow down the other group. And thankfully I had a clean connection on that one to get it over the trees and back in play. And as you can just see there, a chunk of mud just flicked up and hit me in the face. Perfect way to start the round. Did work out quite nicely, as now I have a second pitching wedge shot in a row. And we end up missing just to the right of the green, but it is going to give us with a short chip on and a good opportunity for an up and down. So I'm going to take the 52 degree at this one. Pretty standard setup for myself. Hopefully get this one close. End up carrying a little bit too far, but it is still going to give us a putt for the first up and down. And it was a bit of a slow day, so it's given me a chance to have a second go at this, and I'm going to try and develop my bump and run. So this was with a 9-iron, and I've rolled that one up pretty close. And I think we're going to see how that goes today. So back to our original ball, we're going to try and make this one in for bogey and hopefully tick off the first up and down of the video. And unfortunately that's the most horrific read, and I've pushed that to the left. So it's going to leave us to tidy up for an easy double. And this is the second ball from the bump and run. Hypothetically, let's see if we would have made that one for bogey. And no, looks like we were destined for a double on this hole. Moving on to the first par 3 of the video. Relatively straightforward one with bunkers to the right and left of the hole. And we've taken the 7-iron and taken a softer swing at this one. And we've ended up coming a little bit short. But it gives us another opportunity to get up and down. Going to stick with the bump and run to try and improve that throughout the round. Going with the 9-iron again. And still not quite used to that shot, but I'm determined to get a good one. So I'm going to clean the ball and make sure to give this the best chance it has to go in. And I put a smooth stroke on it, and it's going just to the left of the pin. So we're going to tap that one in for an easy bogey. Again, nothing to complain about, just unfortunately not going to tick off any of the challenges. So now we're moving on to the first par 5, and as you can see, I don't know the distance of this one as it has a temporary green at the moment. So I'm just going to stick with the 5-iron, hopefully get it in the fairway and go from there. Which I managed to execute pretty nicely. Again, still trying to get to grips with this new swing change which I'm making. So taking the 6-iron from the deck. And I've absolutely pured it down the middle. So very happy with that one. I was expecting that could have gone anywhere. It's nice to see the 6-iron going over the 180 mark once more. At a guess, I'd say we're about 60 yards away from the pin, so I'm going to take the 52 degree at this one and hopefully get it up there. And I put a nice clean connection on that one and land it just to the left of the pin. And it's going to give us an opportunity to tick off that up and down, or the first one at least. And we're going to get close, but miss just off to the left once more and tap it in for an easy par. Thankfully, the temporary hole turned out to be a relatively easy one. Now we're on to a very short par 3. Similar situation to the last episode where I'm in between the 52 and the pitching wedge. So I'm going to stick with the pitching wedge, but just try and take a little bit off this one, as I would rather be longer than short on this occasion. But end up pulling off a very nice shot, and it's all over the pin. And there was 2 guys just to the right, and they started screaming when that landed next to it. Nice way to add on a bit of extra pressure on this part, however. Did try to assure them that was a one-off, by all means. However, it does give us a opportunity for the first up and down, and also a very good chance to tick off the birdie. It evaded us last time. Can we sink it in for bird? 2 guys watching on the left. And we end up pushing it just to the right of the hole. But we do tidy it up for an easy par. And I've let down the fan base to the left there. However, all in good faith. We had a nice little laugh, and then we moved on to the next hole. So So the birdie evaded us once more, but we're going on to this par 5. Has a water hazard a bit further down this hole, so it's first opportunity to probably lose the ball. Hopefully that won't happen though. And I spoke a little bit too soon, and ended up shanking into the trees on the right. And unfortunately, that is the lost ball ticked off. Going to try and recompose ourselves now with the 5-iron. Go through my steps to set up properly, and hopefully hit this one down the middle of the fairway. So free from the tee, this one needs to be good. And unfortunately we've hooked it off to the left, but thankfully it got over that tree, and it's just going to be in the fairway the other hole. However, we do now have a big tree in front of us, so we're going to take the pitching wedge at this one and try and get it up and over. Which we managed to pull off pretty nicely, and it's going to put us back into the fairway of the hole we're actually on, but we are chasing shots now. So the free from the tee, very damaging to the score in this situation. So now I'm hitting over the water towards the green, and I've pushed it off to the right hand side, and that's going to leave us with a very awkward situation to be in over there. You do not want to be there. As you can see, I'm left with this horrible downhill lie, which you also know from earlier in the video is also very boggy conditions. So it's a downhill lie, slight side hill lie, in wet conditions. I'm taking the 60 degree at this with a slightly open face. And I've actually pulled off one of the best shots of the round, but somehow managed to end up with dirt on my face once more. Nice little transition towards the putt on this one. Pretty happy with that one. Let's see if we can come away from this hole with the first up and down in the video. Yes, we've missed a couple of up and down opportunities so far. Let's hope we can sink this one. Unfortunately, we come agonizingly close once more, and we're starting to run out of holes for that challenge, and we're going to tap it in for a triple. So I caught up with the guys in front, and I did ask if I could record as I played through them. However, they politely turned me down, so I ended up getting a bogey on that hole, and they were actually going pretty slow, so I ended up getting ahead of them. So now we rejoin myself on the 7th hole, which is a par 4 dogleg to the right. So taking the 6-iron at this one, and hopefully get up towards the corner. And I end up absolutely puring that, probably the best 6-iron I've ever hit, and I clear the tree at the back. So for the second time of the round, I find myself on the other fairway. So I'm going to set up the camera and walk on down. And now I have the shame of all the group on the par 3 walking through and trying to decide whether I can get over this tree or not. So what you can't see is there's a load of trees which I need to clear. And as you can see, the people passing by, all giving me tips and advice on what not to do. But I'm not going to listen to them, and I'm going to stick with the pitching wedge and try and get over this tree, and we'll see how that goes. And as you heard, that did not go well. I drilled it straight through the tree. Thankfully though, it did get through the tree and ended up in the middle of the fairway, but certainly didn't get as many yards as I was after, leaving myself with a 9-iron in. Not the cleanest connection on that one, but it is up there, just going to be short of the green. So another chance to try and get this up and down. Going with the 9-iron bump and run. And rolled it up there just to the left. And again, we caught up with the next group, so we're going to take a couple more practice efforts. So another bump and run just to see if I can get this one closer. And that one's very nicely done just off to the right of the flag, but much better than the first effort, which you'd hope after having one go at it. And then I'm just going to take the old 52 and just see if I can get close with the 52 as well. All about the practice when you can. Practice on the course is always better than practice on the range. And again, get that one nice and close. So let's see how many of these we can putt in. Again, starting with the main ball, the one that matters. Can we get the up and down we've been chasing? And unfortunately not. So we're going to tap that one in for double. The second ball we actually made in for a bogey, so would have got the up and down there. And now with the 52 as well. Slightly longer one, mine. And we managed to sneak it in the back. Nice bit of short game practice before moving on to the next hole. So moving on to the 8th hole, still 2 up and down, so we need to get this in for birdie or miss the green and get up and down after that. And I push it off to the right once more, and it's going to find the right side of the green. So again, just wanted to take a second ball at that. And that's not a replay, that is my second shot, which has also gone to the right side of the green. So determined to get one there, I've aimed slightly left. And you guessed it, that one's gone dead straight, so that misses left of the green. So somewhere in between there's a good shot. Anyway, back to the main ball. As you can see, this one needs to go in to make the up and down, as we are on the green currently. Unfortunately, it is one of the harder putts of the round. And there goes the 2 up and down opportunity. We are going to try and finish the hole strong though, and make this one for par. Still have a bit of meat on the bone though. At least I gave it a chance to go in. However, I missed just off to the right there. Although we're going to hopefully tie this one up now for a nice simple bogey, which takes us over our target. However, it sets us up nicely for the last hole. A birdie required to go +9 and a birdie required to tick off the birdie. Can I at least tick off a couple of challenges on this episode? Let's find out. And I've given myself a great chance by smacking the 5-iron down the middle of the fairway. So can't get much better than that one. We have an interesting little sand river in the middle. We're taking the 9-iron at this one to try and get it up on that ledge towards the green. Going aggressive at this one for the birdie. Swings a little bit all over the place, nearly falling over. However, that's landed right next to the pin, I think.
I've got a shot to finish on once more. So we're going to try and finish out by ending on a birdie putt. Can we tick off the birdie challenge? If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button and let's get on to the shot.
So pressure on. Look when that divot landed. Imagine if I slam dunked it on the final hole, the eagle. That would have been outrageous. Somehow managed to stand on my own line just to make things slightly more awkward. I'm going to clean the ball, as I believe that's going to help me sink it in for birdie. What do you guys think? Do you reckon I'm going to sink it in? Pressure's on. Ah, just one of those days where nothing's dropping in. So we're going to tap it in for an easy par to finish the round. So unfortunately missed out on all the challenges, but there were some positives to take away from the round. Be sure to check out the last 2 episodes on the left, or subscribe to be notified for the next one, and I'll catch you next time.